Losers Bracket Podcast, round 108, and we have some awesome FGC, MLG, and porn industry to talk. What in the world is going on in the world of esports this week? We have a great guest coming up later in the show. Juicebox Abel, he did some awesome commentary at MLG in Columbus at the Winter Championship, and we'll be having him on the show in just a little bit. I am here with only one of the co-hosts that you are used to. We're going to have a little bit of a late arrival in the show. Later we'll be joined by Lord Jareth. But right now I have my brosif Kurt with me. Jerry is actually at a learning convention symposium in Miami at the moment for his day job. And,
wait, Jerry has a day job? What is that?
I know.
Goodness.
I know. What is up with that? That's not allowed. But, anywho, what is allowed is for you to tell me how you were doing this week, Kurt, because I am genuinely interested in the life of the man that we only see through pictures with a big Pepsi container hoisted to his lips. How are things in the life of Mr. Check 6 KeyHunt?
I am doubtful you're interested, Jason. I really am.
Probably not, but I still want to make it sound like I am.
You can pretend that you're interested. That's the fantastic thing. You're at least good at lying to me. So
I do a good job at that, at least I hope.
What the hell are you wearing, too? By the way, what is that?
Green? I'm not allowed to wear green.
Not unless it's St. Patrick's Day. No,
dude, no. It's like a month too late.
It's like bright green. It's like forest green. Jason looks like a giant pot plant right now. What is this?
Let's talk about what I'm wearing. More talk about yourself.
Anyway, I can't say anything. I'm wearing Batman pajamas, so
you
what can I
definitely
say?
Are. And Havoc in the chat has the right idea. He says, "Don't diss the outfit, bro," which I agree.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so no, I'm doing well. We're preparing for IPL 4 this week. Okay. That should be a loads of fun.
Like 30-something Koreans in the open bracket, dude.
There are. I'm not 100% up to date on the total, but I think 31 Koreans in the open bracket. Now that includes players that were coming from, of course, they were coming anyway, like Killer and Hart and Zenio and stuff like that. But then it also includes the GSTL teams. So for people that aren't aware, IPL is actually going to have the finals for the GSTL at IPL, which is really, really amazing. And because of that, the GSTL teams are going to participate in the open bracket as well.
That's insane.
Great for the GSTL teams, great for competitions, going to suck for the foreigners there. Because you have,
we could see some surprises, come on.
Probably not. No, I'm joking. No, you probably will. I mean, Koreans are... Especially some of the Koreans that are kind of haven't been here before. Like you've got Beyond, I think is one of them who hasn't been here before, who's on Prime. A bunch of those Prime guys, a bunch of those TSL guys have not been here before, so they'll probably be a little off their game. They won't be, quite at home. Not to mention, it's kind of a culture shock going from, Busan, Korea to South Korea to, the Vegas Strip.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So. I think you'll see a few people off their game, but listen to some of the players that are going to be at this event. I want to run down a few of them here. So just in the open bracket alone, well, let's start from group stage. So in group stage, you have Tails from Complexity MVP. You have Fnatic Alive. You have Nest T. You have Marine King Prime, Stefano, and White Raw. You have Puma, Polt, and MC. You have Bomber, MMA, and Idra. Those are just the group stages. So that's Group A, B, C, and D, respectively.
It's all pretty impressive thus far.
That is insane. Now, I definitely think, you'll see Marine King Prime doing... Marine King Prime versus Stefano will be incredibly interesting. I don't know... When have we seen Marine King Prime versus Stefano? I don't think we've seen that many times. If we've seen that any times. Maybe at the past MLG Columbus. So that should be interesting.
Well, with the way Stefano played at Columbus, getting knocked out losers bracket, but
yeah, he had a rough road. I mean, coming from the open bracket, and he won't have it quite as hard in group stages. But now let's go to the open bracket.
Right.
So in the open bracket, you have, we're going to start at the top here. I'm just going to mention some of the Koreans. We're not even going to talk about the foreign, some of the other, more unknown foreign players there. But you got Tasia, you have Illusion's going to be there, you have Vibe, Violet, JYP, Demuslim, Huck, Machine, Demaga, TT1, TLO, Jinro, Hapro, Noni, Rhett, Sheth, Hero, Zenio, Heart, Killer, QXC, Catch, Druby, Gonzi, MVP, Ryung, Oz, and Lenok.
That's, how do you pick a winner out of that? Unless you have like a 31-sided die and you just roll it. And then you just go,
and that doesn't even include the GSTL players that are coming. So that does include the entire Prime roster, as well as the entire roster of the second team, whoever the fuck that is. Honestly, I haven't kept up with GSTL. I apologize. But I think some of Slayers is coming too. I think Boxer is coming, which will be amazing because this will be the first event we've seen Boxer at in quite some time. And I miss him.
I
absolutely love watching Boxer. So I'm hoping he'll be there. Really, really interesting stuff for IPL. If you have not read into how their HD stuff works now, they are selling a HD pass for it. It is pay-per-view, but it's not pay-per-view in the sense of the MLG pay-per-view where you pay in order to get in kind of thing. It's just for an HD pass, which I believe is $5. So you pay $5. Yeah, so basically the way it works is you pay $5 for a monthly subscription, which is like a Netflix type of thing, but then you can cancel it right after the event. It will be 720p and 1080p. You'll get VODs and all that good stuff, and they have a total of 7 streams. Is that right? 6 streams. They have IGN, IPL 1, IPL 2, IPL 3. They have IPL LOL, and then they also have the IPL Live View cameras coming back, which is incredibly interesting.
Now, since we're talking about PPV and pricing, one thing that we need to mention so we can compare this is that MLG just did release their new pricing for the spring arenas and all the spring events that they're going to be doing. And if you haven't seen this yet, this is actually quite a bit different than what they did with the winter arena. Just to read this off, the spring arenas, there's 2 of them coming up. Neither of them have a free option, right? There's also going to be the spring invite-only online qualifier, which standard definitions for you can pay for high def, and then the spring championship, which is the big event in Anaheim, where standard definitions free, and then you can pay for high def. But a little bit different than last time, there will actually be a spring season pass where you get all of the events, all in HD, all 4 for $30 for full access to all the events in spring. If you are a gold member, this is where it gets pretty darn ridiculous. You get $15 for full access to all spring events in HD. So comparing the two, what do you think about the value, Kurt?
I think they're both really good. I think MLG's price point is smart. I think it's definitely a lot better than the $20 before, even though it's not, I guess, that big of a difference. I do really like the fact that they acknowledge gold members even more this time. That's really great, especially considering I'm a gold member. And if you did not get gold membership, shame on you because you're just an idiot, because it was such a good deal. I mean, you had to pay, it was like, I think it was $30 for a gold membership and for the entire year, and it was $20 per event just to watch one of the events. So why would you not
pay the extra $10?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, really, really amazing stuff. I do think that's going to be really good. I personally am not a fan of the Spring Arena 1 and how they're choosing to do that this time.
Really?
But I'm hoping they'll change that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not for the fact that it has, and once again, this is me being a negative Nancy here, but
always.
I don't like the fact that it's only 8 players. It's only the players that were top at MLG Winter Championships, and the people that got top at Winter Championships, most of them got seeded that way anyway because they had done so well at Winter Arena. So it's kind of very iffy to me, but I trust MLG that they're going to make the right decision, hopefully. We'll see in the next season. We'll see that change up, maybe a little bit more open format. Spring Arena 2 promises to be some amazing content, though.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing content. Because they're doing an open qualifier. we'll have, there'll be plenty of players that'll have, registration is actually open for that right now, by the way, so you have not got your ticket for that open. Yep, it opened at 7 p.m., probably already sold out, so I don't even know why I'm fucking saying this, but it should be a really, really amazing event, how they're sort of working it. It'll kind of appease both. You'll have a few of the players that are going to make it in there anyway, because of just how the seating works. So they won't lose their quote-unquote star players. But then also you'll have people that I really think you'll see some players start to shine. So anyway, really amazing stuff coming out of both leagues. But definitely check out IPL this weekend. Check Six will have, I think, 5 players there. Does that sound right?
Cool.
Yeah. Yep, so we'll have 5 players there. And definitely check it out. Sleep will be battling through the open bracket. That's going to be incredibly fun for him, I am sure.
How excited you are always to watch Sleep. I'm excited to watch your Twitter and see you nerd happying. Look at you getting all happy at something other than Counter-Strike. I'm sure you're going to talk about that now that I've said it now, though.
I certainly am, and now that you brought it up. So if my computer would stop lagging here.
Hang myself. No, but please, go ahead, Kurt. What's going on new in the world of Counter-Strike? I know that you told me before the show you wanted to say something, so please, with the news of the Major Leagues out of the way, not to make a pun on the name of Major League Gaming, but what's going on in the world of Counter-Strike, sir? Or did you die
Jason,
on me?
can you hear me?
Oh, look at you. You died on me.
Jason, can you hear me now?
Yay, there you are. What's up, buddy?
I'm sorry. Something happened there. My computer, freaked out. Fantastic.
It's probably all that talk about Counter-Strike and the heart attack that you're about to have.
I knew that was
over
coming.
to the computer.
The sheer mention of Counter-Strike just completely crashed my computer. No, I don't think so, Scooter. No, so they really one of the first events for Counter-Strike Go happening right now is the Sound Blaster Counter-Strike Go Challenge. Should be incredibly, incredibly interesting. There's going to be some of the top CSS teams. There'll be some of the top 1.6 teams. And then they've also got the Copenhagen stuff like that coming up too. So for the teams for that, you actually have Mouse Sports coming in. Mouse Sports will be there. ESC Gaming, which is the defending champions from IEM for Intel Extreme Masters 1.6, which is insane. It's going to seeing them play CS:GO is going to be really, 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 really great. You have SK Gaming coming in, which is everybody knows SK if you've been following Counter-Strike at all. Right. Target Down, which I don't know much about, but they're a Brazilian team. So it should be at least interesting to see how they do against some of the likes of ESC and SK. Copenhagen Wolves, which I think are a Source team. Are they a Source team? I'm not sure. Maybe. No, they're a 1.6 team. Maybe. No, Source.
Look at you. You're such a problem.
I had to think about it there, man. Because I'm looking at it here, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I don't remember this team from 1.6. No, Source team. You also have Blight Gaming, which, dear God, that name. Oy vey.
What a blight on
I feel
sports.
bad. I feel bad for them, but they are a really, really good team. They're a good CSS team from, I think, Denmark. I think that's right. So it should be interesting, man, to see how they... And then you also have a Nexus coming in, who is another 1.6 team that was from Intel Extreme Masters, New York. You saw them play there and stuff like that. So anyway, really, really good stuff. It'll be the first real CSGO tournament, LAN CSGO tournament, in the sense that all the teams are going to be there. Will they necessarily like it? Probably not. CSGO is not completed yet, and I don't think it really should be pushed on people to be played competitively yet. That being said, I do like the fact that Sound Blaster is coming out already holding a tournament for it. That is amazing. Hopefully, they continue to do so, and hopefully it gets some pretty big numbers. I suspect it will, as long as they stream it right. But I'm thinking it'll do really, really well, man. Especially, and it's going to be interesting seeing how the 1.6 players do against the Source players.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, actually.
Because in the end, it is a new game, but it does run on the Source engine. It does favor Source slightly. There are, of course, some 1.6 similarities and stuff like that, and the recoil is just completely different. So it'll be interesting to see how teams really work out.
Right. Well, dirty little secret, I've actually watched competitive Counter-Strike before, so...
Oh my god, no!
God, I know. Oh, Jesus, as much hell as I give you, I've actually... No, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Goes. Oh, that was a really bad pun. But... that's a nice transition to seeing how it goes in the future of certain titles. Hey, I'm going to be doing something kind of cool next week after our 109th episode. Do you know what I'm doing, Kurt?
I have heard something about a possible Guitar Hero tournament.
Oh my god. I'm flying up to Chicago. I'll be staying with Jerry, our missing co-host, and helping run a Chicago LAN tournament for the Guitar Hero franchise. We'll be doing it at Logan's Hardware, Logan Square. If you live in the area, please come out. Even if you're not a big Guitar Hero fan, there'll be tons of swag to give away. Hey, it's always a good time to start playing if you get a game for free, right? So if you live in the Midwest, anywhere near Chicago, please come on out. I'll make sure you get all the details. If you want any information, my Twitter's right there. Message me. I'll get you all the info. I did hear from Guitar Hero Eric there's actually going to be unlimited nachos and root beer floats there, so if you like free food, hey, that's pretty cool too. But beside the fact, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be really fun to get to do something with the Guitar Hero brand again. And on top of that, I might be doing, maybe some exhibitions or something. So maybe you can come out and put your skills up against me, and we'll see what happens, Shut me up or something. I mean, you'd love to do that, wouldn't you, Kurt?
The funny thing, I give you shit, and you give me shit, and you give me more shit than I give you. Okay. It's really
coming
from
the walking four-leaf clover over here, or whatever you want to call it.
It's really kind of funny, because if Sir Scoots were on this podcast, he would eat you alive. Because what did he say? What did he say the other day?
Hold on, that's someone that used to sponsor a Guitar Hero player. Hush your face.
When you called Counter-Strike dead, he said, doesn't your game ever have to be alive in order for it to be dead? Oh, I love Scoots. I do. He helps me. But anyway, no, I do. I really enjoyed seeing Guitar Hero. I'm like I talked about before. I enjoyed seeing it at WSVG, and people call that kind of smart ass, really. But I'm really not being a smart ass. Now, of course, you don't have to have Vince Neil judging your fucking Guitar Hero tournament, but the whole theme of having. Both a little bit on how you actually perform and how you remember the song and stuff like that, but also on how you your stage presence and stuff like that. I really like.
No, that's so bad. Let's never do that again.
I love that. What the fuck are you talking about? If you don't, what else do you expect it to be? Do you just remember like people pressing buttons and then just sitting there like blah blah blah? No,
that's like me saying, oh man, you got to remember where your positions are in Counter-Strike and what guns to buy in what certain situations, but you have to do it while you're dancing around in a tutu. Does that make it more fun?
But it's a completely different thing, though. It's
Not
hard.
really.
There's no. I think so. I mean, and once again, maybe it's just me, but you don't hear people screaming over a certain period of thing in Guitar Hero that much. It's I don't know. I really like the whole stage presence thing.
We're gonna differ on that, Kurt. We're gonna differ on that.
I can't believe you don't like that. Devastation, for instance, they did an amazing job with that stuff.
Okay, this is coming from one of the guys that
Rip and Eris.
Oh my god!
Didn't you guys do the whole Devo fucking thing? Like, wasn't that the whole point?
Yes, we won it, but that's still doesn't make it good. I mean, come on. Like, I'm just being real here. It's fun, but when it's not competitive. There's a difference between fun and competitive. If we're going to see it on a competitive stage, it needs to be equal. If it's going to be for fun, maybe a fun side event or something like that, that's totally
in that case, I don't think your game has a fucking chance.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. But anyway, okay. Moving on.
This makes me wish Jerry was here because he'd back me up in this. In fact, I might have to call
Yeah,
him in a
see,
few
look,
minutes.
now I get to poke you a little bit. Hey, your game fucking sucks. And I don't have Jerry coming in behind you.
Oh, no. We're going to have to bring in our guest here soon. We've got Juicebox coming on the show. We're going to be talking some fighting games, some Major League gaming, some developments with certain sponsors in the fighting game world. I think that's going to be quite the interesting experience, but I don't want to blow our load over that right now because that's going to be quite the hands-on discussion. That's going to be quite the mouthful. That's going to be...
Oh, 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
That's... Okay. I'm going to stop. That's just bad. Let's see if we can get a hold of Jerry. I'm going to literally text him live on the air right now, just so you guys can see this, so we can be like, yo, where you at?
Oh, yeah,
People
I've got to see.
Miss your voice.
Go up, he's texting.
I put, people miss your voice. Any updates? And I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from him. But in the meantime, let's see if we can get Juicebox on. We'll start chatting a little bit so you guys can learn a little bit more about the man who took the commentary world by storm when he was doing some King of Fighters at MLG in Columbus. Let me see if I can get him on the line, and we can go from there.
Chickadee check.
Oh my God, look at that. It's like it happened without me even trying to get it to happen. That's wonderful. All right.
By osmosis.
Indeed. Now, only if we could get his video to load, that would be even better. Because
It's all your fault.
I don't know.
It's all your
we were doing
fault.
some testing before the show earlier today.
I broke my computer from Counter-Strike, and you broke your computer talking about Guitar Hero.
Oh, good Lord. I didn't do anything of the sort. You're a horrible person.
Can you even play Guitar Hero on the PC?
Yeah, actually, there is a PC version.
Really?
Fret's on fire? I remember that shit. Oh my God.
Oh my God, Juicebox. Thank you for coming to the rescue, my man. A voice of reason.
Oh no, please no, don't go away.
I was a big Guitar Hero 1 and 2 fan. Fret's on Fire was like the shit when it came out.
Amen. Look at this guy. This guy knows what he's talking about. So, with that being said, we'll get Juice in here as soon as his camera wants to start working with us.
While his camera's loading, I'll go ahead and talk about a few other small little news topics while it's just loading up. Jerry, Juicebox, go ahead and just mess around with it, see what you can do to fix it. Jason, help him out. But a few other news topics that I want you guys to check out. Definitely.
Here he goes.
Definitely check out. Oh, did he get it? No. Definitely check out. Go to Team Dignitas, team-dignitas.net. Check out David Ting. Recently did an interview with them. He really the thing about David Ting is people. I want to be able to give him shit because he does talk a lot of shit about MLG, but I do too. So I can't necessarily give him too much shit. But I like to think that he's a little bit too harsh on his competition and stuff like that. But that being said, I really, really like how he interviews. I don't know if it's just because of the way he is or because of just how everything works out, but I absolutely love the way he gives interviews, and he really gives some really interesting answers to most of the questions. He talks about how IPL 3 went in the eyes of IGN. He talked about IPL 4 and the reason they switched IPL 4 to Vegas, which of course the reason they switched IPL 4 to Vegas is because in Atlantic City they had a age limit. In Vegas they don't. So the Cosmopolitan event, you can come to the event at whatever age. He talked about gambling and whether he viewed gambling as sort of a next step into gaming. He doesn't really have an opinion on that, but he says that he doesn't want IPL becoming sort of a gambling event. He also, of course, talks about how he wants to run his events. So he wants to run 4 events per season, very similar to MLG, or 4 events per year, excuse me. Very similar to MLG in that aspect, having very seasonal, and then I'll have a bunch of qualifiers in between. He also, once again, mentions the fact that GSL was partnered with MLG, and now, of course, they're not. Famously, they're not. But he honestly kind of dials it down. He doesn't say there was a lot of controversy there. A lot of people think it's, IPL stolen from MLG or something like that. He said it wasn't the case. He said that, MLG and GSL just sort of fell out, and he was just, had talked to Mr. Che, and they had very, very similar views. So they wanted to do something for IPL 4. So really interesting interview. I'll go ahead and post it in the chat as well. It's on team-dignitas.net. Definitely check that out. He also talks about fighting games and their possible future with IPL. Of course, he talks about CSGO, and he even mentions Halo 4. So that's an interesting little thing to the console players there. So anyway, definitely check that out. And I think we actually have Juicebox on the camera now.
I actually have Juicebox on the screen. So no. The only weird thing is, in Wirecast, for some reason, he is upside down. That's kind of fun.
I'm upside down.
You are. You're upside down. You are that
Excellent.
Over the top that you literally flipped over the top. So I'm going to get that fixed real quick. But in the meantime, since you're actually here on the show now, we can't see you yet, but I'm going to get that fixed here in just a second. Why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? Who is this Juicebox character that people have been waiting all week to hear on the losers bracket, my friend?
Juicebox, who is he? He's a good friend of Eric Albino's. Forget it. I'm not going to go into that. I just like fighting games a lot. I try to get good at Street Fighter 4. I'm still kind of good at it. Depends on what your definition of good is.
Ninth place at Evo is not bad.
Nah, not bad. But I like King of Fighters a lot now. I'm starting to get into Soul Calibur. I know a bit about Mortal Kombat, which all happen to be MLG games. And, I'm trying to see what I can do to leverage those games as well. And, as far as what I am now, I'm still a player at heart, but I really wonder if there's more than I can do. And so being a player isn't so much a centralized focus, you could say. I think I have some bigger plans as well.
Sweet. We got your video up finally. It's a little bit blurry for some reason. We'll see if we can get that fixed as the show goes on. Tech is always fun, but at the same time, good to know a little bit more about the man behind the name. But what do you do a little bit outside the fighting game community? Tell us a little bit about your background. Are you in school at the moment? What jobs do you have? How old are you? Tell us a little bit more about this man that we see in a blurry shape on the screen currently.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your computer, son. I'm at 720p. All right. Now,
calling you out. This is what I love about the fighting game community right here. You just be like,
oh,
not my fault, it's all your fault.
We're going to talk about that label here in just a little bit, but continue on, buddy.
All right. So as far as my personal life goes, I work 40 hours a week. I work in customer service. If there's a mysterious bill on your credit card statement and you call, it might be me, just saying. I don't collect bills per se. But that's what I do for a living, making about $12 an hour. Shit job, hate it, but hey, it's a paycheck. In my spare time, I hang out with my girlfriends. I hang out with a couple friends I have here in Arizona, and really I would like to spend most of my spare time just streaming and practicing fighting games. Whenever my free time allows, I do that. But a lot of my life at this point has become planning for the next event, and okay, so MLG, winter is over, so next would be UFGT8 and then CEO, if I'm not mistaken. This right now, when I have spare time, it's what should I be doing to get ready for UFGT8? What should I be doing to get ready for MLG Anaheim? And so, more or less, fighting games are taking over. And so, It's not a bad thing. I enjoy it, so it's cool.
Yeah, here's something interesting. You've played Capcom games, obviously Street Fighter. It's how I ended up meeting you, Devastation 2 years ago. Saw this raucous individual making these crazy motions on the stage, throwing fireballs, getting the crowd hyped up. But now you're also possibly doing things with MLG on the non-Capcom side. Any sort of dissension there? How does the fighting game community kind of look at that? Do you see anything that's What's your viewpoint on this whole Capcom side of things with all the other titles? What are your viewpoints there?
Well, the community is segmented when it wasn't before. Without getting too big into the history lesson, the fighting game community used to be you go to the arcade, you sit down, there's caps. And so it became a fighting game community out of not really necessity, but just because of location. If you played fighting games, other people were nearby playing fighting games, and you gathered and talked about your games. Now that we have, online gaming and different consoles and blah, 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 and not to mention a lot of freaking games out right now, the fighting game community as it is, I believe fighting game community is sort of a misnomer. As Adam was saying on your episode last week, if they want to run a Warcraft 3 tournament, they don't have to ask the RTS community. So with that in mind, ask the Mortal Kombat community how they're doing. Ask the Soul Calibur community how they're doing. Right. They're happy as hell right now because of MLG and their involvement. The King of Fighters community is also very happy. So really, I think it's more of a non-Capcom community, and within them they have their own communities. And then there's the Capcom community itself, which is the most popular and best-selling games for the most part.
I hate to throw a real hard-hitting question at you right off the bat, but before I do, I will just say Jerry just texted me. He said he's on his way, so we will have our other co-host back rather soon, rather short. But you talked about the other communities, Mortal Kombat, you talked about Soul Calibur, and we did this a little bit at the event in Columbus as well. We had discussed, we said, hey, what do you think of this? How do you compare it to EVO? And we did not hear one person say, hey, EVO's better than MLG. Every person we asked, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, said, oh my god, this is the best tournament we've seen. This is great. The setup is awesome. Were there things that could be improved? Of course, but that's good. That's positive feedback. Do you think, I have to see exactly how I want to word this, do you think the EVO community, the people that are running this, the people that are telling people, hey, MLG is bad, are they protecting their turf? We've had people on the past, and I'm sorry to throw a hard-hitting question at you right off the bat, but you had to know it was coming. You had to know it was coming.
I was at least going to coddle it. I was at least going to coddle him a little bit before you just fucked him here. Come on,
we have to throw it out there because
this isn't live on 3. We have fluff. This is fluff.
No,
it's okay. If you throw it and I don't catch it, it'll be there on the ground. Maybe I'll pick it up later. All right. So
I don't think there's anyone else that could answer this as good as Juicebox right now because he is doing commentary. We've seen on Twitter Clap saying, hey, we want you to come out for the fighting game arena. What is your opinion here? Because we've had Tom Cannon on from EVO in the past, and I'd like to hear from someone who's right in the middle, someone who's played Street Fighter before, who's been a commentator for King of Fighters now as a guest commentator at MLG. You've seen both sides of the field. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so as far as possibly the staff of EVO protecting their turf and trying to shut MLG out.
Sure.
I am not looking at the pocketbooks of the higher-ups of EVO.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I don't know what they're thinking either. I mean, I can't speak for these people. I can't speak for either organization because I'm really a part of neither. I'm just a player, remember?
Mm-hmm.
What I'll say is, it seems, if you look at it from the outside, you might say, well, why wouldn't a tournament organization like EVO want to partner with MLG and throw a greater event for its community? And the easiest and simplest explanation would, of course, be that EVO is protecting an investment. Because if MLG does go through with fighting games, gets good fighting games, takes away from the attendance of their tournaments, starts throwing fighting game-centric events year-round that are perhaps separate from the 4 championships, etc. You see what I'm saying? If they started to do that, you could make a prediction about dollars exchanging hands over the long run. Okay, now that is simply the most obvious explanation. It might not be the right one, but we are not being shown alternate explanations at the moment. And it's hard to come up with alternate things. I mean, because if you think about, I'm going to step on a toe or two here. When I think about growing the fighting game community, I don't care about the stream monsters. Not yet. Okay? What I care about is the players. The players need more incentive to play. They need to be able to get to events easier. There need to be more events for them to go to. The high-level play that they do needs to be broadcast more to grow so that more people buy the game, more like it, more high-level players come out of the woodwork, etc. After we have more incentive for the high-level players to do that, once we have a steadier stream of high-level players, etc., then we can worry about the stream monsters, because then we have the corporate sponsors breathing down our necks saying how many thousands of people you got, how many unique visitors you got, Triple V Gaming. That's the voice of Pepsi-Cola. Hey, Triple V, how many unique viewers you got? Oh, 2,000? I'll give you 5 cents a head. Bam.
That sounds like my smoking Uncle Teddy, I tell you what. Speaking of people that are a little... Oh, that's the weirdest segue ever. Jerry, are you here?
Whoa. I'm like, you're smoking Uncle Teddy? How the hell does that happen? First of all, I came on the losers bracket from South Beach, Miami, and you got to really give me credit for this, because I'm telling you right now, there is a lot of temptation to not be here. I just got to be honest. But... I don't miss this for the world, and I don't know how I got the smoking Uncle Teddy reference. But everybody, it's good to see everybody. But I agree with what Juicebox just said. I think it was right on key. Not so much about 5 cents ahead, but more so about, look, if Evo or any fighting game event has a legitimate reason why Major League Gaming is bad, you should be able to articulate that reason clearly, directly, and in partnership with Major League Gaming, because you want to help grow the fighting game community. That's not what we're getting. We're getting irrational fear. We're getting this kind of fear-mongering about ruining the community. We get long articles about why the fighting game community is not ready. Well, to Ultra David's points about how they're sexist, they're not ready for this, they're not good for this, what we saw in Columbus was hype. We saw Triforce come up on stage and defend his boy against, what a lot of people were looking as the bounty, and everybody got into that. We got a moment where, all the fighting game community was hyped up about the finals. There was some great stuff on stream. Wherever this... We hate women. I think there was one yelling about vaginas. That was the one time in the whole 3 days of events that I heard anything that might even remotely be construed as off-color or sexist. Outside of that, obviously, you're known for this. That's why they call you Juicebox, from what I hear. Actually.
Oh God! Hey. Reference. Hey. Oh,
but no. I mean, I think the whole thing was ridiculous. Plus, to the fighting game communities, and I mean this, no offense, actually, I should stop lying. I do mean offense. God, you're fucking stupid. Now the Mortal Kombat, the Soul Calibur 5 community, can now separate themselves from the generic label of fighting game community, and now they get to be an entity all to their own. And you know what's nice? The Mortal Kombat community doesn't have to call itself the fighting game community anymore. They can say things like, we're the Mortal Kombat community. We're different from the FGC. So what you've done is you've essentially handed the idea of divide and conquer to the supposed evil empire of Major League Gaming. And I'm quite certain... can I break some news right now, Jason?
Oh, please, go for it. Yeah, do it.
I haven't even told CD Junior this, but Major League Gaming is interested in connecting CD Junior with NOS Energy.
What?
And CD getting a partnership that, to be honest, I would not have been able to bring CD Junior on my own, but Major League Gaming, realizing that he's a marketable player, approached us in a very friendly manner. They didn't want to steal him away from us, but working through some ways to represent NOS and make sure NOS gets value. They're like, hey, we're interested in CD Junior, and this is what NOS has to offer, and this is what we do. So, look, is that good for CD?
I got to say too, real quick, Jerry, that that I want to applaud MLG for how well they have done that this year, and last year for that matter. In the years prior, we have known a different MLG, and once again, I'm not blaming them for that. I know they had different, hands during that time, but where it was like, we're going to take your players whether you like it or not kind of thing. Now we have a really different MLG in the sense of they work with the teams. Look, we don't want to take your players. You can wear whatever you want, but we want them representing these people for this period of time. And if they have a conflicting sponsor, we won't contact you. They're not going to contact IDRA to support NOS. I really, really appreciate that, and I don't think they get praised enough for that because that scared me when this whole thing started happening. So, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because I'm not scared. I mean, everybody knows our models will develop players, and if EG can give them a better deal, if Check 6 can give them a better deal, we would release those players from the contract to go off and do bigger and better things, because VV Gaming is much more about the development of talent and then having them grow to be professional players. But in this case, Major League Gaming was, I thought, straightforward. They first asked me if I was interested. They didn't even wave some carrot in front of me. Said, would you be open to this idea? Absolutely. I would have no problem. And they approached it in such a fair manner. I thought, see, this is good. Again, to what Juicebox just said, it is about the players. If we're going to grow this, people are not a fan of Major League Gaming. They're not a fan of VV Gaming. They're not a fan of EG. They're a fan of the players. And our job is to put those players in center. And if we're not doing that, we're not growing the sport. And if it's not about that, if it's about protecting EVO's stake in it, protecting CEO's stake in it, protecting VV Gaming's stake in it, protecting EG's stake in it, then we're all going to lose. The model's got to be player-centric. It has to be.
I like it. So
not
Jerry,
delicious.
I drink a NOS a day right now. I used to drink Monster, but I don't know. Something just made me switch. I don't know. Oh, my God. No, okay. All that being said, though, Jerry, a little bit to catch you up. We just talked a little bit about Juicebox, who he was. I just threw out the hard question to him about his thoughts on the EVO, Capcom, and MLG other scenes right before you hopped in. So you haven't missed too much. You did hear.
Can I say one thing, though? I have to say one thing, because I would be amiss. When I was at MLG, Juicebox was commentating, and I kind of let it digest overnight because I was really impressed. And then the next day I saw Juicebox sitting there, and he was just looking at, I think he had some I don't know what, controllers or something. He was just had some swag that he was sitting with, and it was like, I got to tell him he did a really good job. So I kind of went over there and said, hey, you're doing a really great job. I know Adam has tweeted about this. He's really happy. But, I mean, and I mean this seriously, I think from the sound effects to the pirate voice to the thing, I still have people who talk to me about these very specific things, because what Adam tweeted, and I'm kind of jealous of it, because I do kind of like to be the guy to have the wise phrases that put it in perspective. But Adam nailed it right at the park. Juicebox, I can't teach passion. And I thought that was really true. And I think, and I'm hoping, the more that you're able to reach out to the people who respect you and understand this. I don't know about you, and I want to ask a question if I can. I keep hearing really positive things from the Mortal Kombat community, from James, from Phil, from Test Your Might. I'm hearing really positive things. They are ecstatic about this opportunity. Are you getting and hearing the same thing?
Specifically from the Mortal Kombat community, or just in general?
Yes. Well, I'd like to hear both, but I imagine the Mortal Kombat community probably has more stake in the fight. But negative or positive, what are you hearing? Sort of the word on the street, so to speak.
Well, I have to be honest. I haven't been on Test Your Might in a while. Although I really should go back because I'm picking up Mortal Kombat again. I did play that game for a couple months when it came out. I live with Morty Seinfeld and Detroit Ballin. I don't live with them, but they're here in Arizona, so I have access to some high-level players there, and that's really useful. But as far as, I have not heard any direct feedback from the Mortal Kombat community. I should probably look that up. I know 995 Phil did an excellent job on commentary. Love to partner with him in the future. I liked his tie. It had the dragon and everything. But I do know that general, Adam was really impressed. I got a handful of compliments, from various places, yourself included. And, I'm really, really excited at the prospects. Excuse me. I'm really excited at the prospect of being able to commentate, more fighting games for more MLG events and MLG Arena, the fighting game arena that they say they're going to do.
Speaking of
well, Jason,
which,
speaking on that, you want to go ahead?
I was just going to say, perfect segue. I actually we have MLG Clap in the chat right now, and he said he'd love to ask you a question, so I'm going to read his question verbatim because he said he wants to hear a 100% on this on the air. If you could comment for us. Clap said, we want you, Juicebox, to commentate the fighting game arena with details releasing early next week and at MLG Anaheim. Are you interested? Will you be up for doing this?
Of course I'm interested. I'm 100% interested. I'm 200% interested, actually.
That's what we wanted to hear. 200%, 100% for each event. I like that. That's good.
Yes.
So there you have it on air. There's a really darn good chance, unless something crazy happens, that we'll be seeing Juicebox on commentary at both the fighting game arena, with details to be announced next week, and at MLG Anaheim very shortly, soon around the corner, Spring Championship. That is some exciting news. Wouldn't you say so?
It definitely is. And I have a few questions in relation to this, because I like to think I have a unique perspective that me and Jerry both do, for that matter, and Jason as well. And I tend to look at it from an organizational standpoint. So you are with Dominion Method Gaming, right? DMG right now. Is that correct?
That is correct. DominionMethodGaming.com.
I do know those guys. I don't know them personally, but I know they are a mainly fighting game community organization, which is incredibly interesting because you don't see a ton of them in the sense of strictly the organization standpoint, strictly the teams. One or two, two or three, stuff like that, from what I understand, from what I usually see. That are especially ones that have been around for a while, that are very respectable. They get, sponsors that, send their players to places, stuff like that. So definite shout outs to them. My question is from a standpoint of being on a team, and being, I suppose, sponsored and sending them to events and stuff like that. Are they supporting you for all this? Are they 100% behind you in the sense of, even if you can't wear a Dominion Method Gaming shirt on MLG stream when you're commentating, is it something that they still support you on just as a progression as a commentator or a player or a personality?
Well, yes, and I think this is true on two levels. What it is I think, first of all, I do my best to represent Dominion Method Gaming with or without the shirt on. I do wear the shirt 99% of the time, by the way. MLG asked me to take that off, so not a big deal. But as far as, DMG is concerned, I think that, they understand that this is not just what I can use DMG like as a platform for Juicebox. And when Juicebox, as long as Juicebox is related to DMG, the more Juicebox rises, the more DMG rises. And I think that they understand that. And so, me being able to go to MLG, me being able to, talk about them, talk about my team and such, at non-fighting game community events, is only going to help them in the long run. So I think, I don't think there's any conflict of interest whatsoever there. And I think that's what they think too.
Good. And a sort of similar question to that. As an organization that is, once again, they're mainly sort of the quote-unquote fighting game community, so they're sort of stuck with a bunch of the fighting game events.
Yep.
How are they in relation to these quote-unquote esport events? I feel so fucking stupid saying that, by the way. I hate people making me say events. That. I feel so fucking stupid making a difference between fighting game events and esport events, and the fact that we're even remotely having to say that is fucking ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. How are they? Are they okay with that? Is everything good there as far as or do they think? What is their, and once again, I hate to ask you to speak for them, but as your organization, what is their whole opinion about the esports versus fighting game community debate?
What's DMG's stance?
Exactly, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, for now, DMG's stance will have to be my stance, because I haven't really talked a great deal with them about it. I mean, I'm sure all of us within DMG have been following the debates and the tweets and the Facebooks and so, I think, what's a good way to put this? I think that we all want a positive resolution to this. I mean, as much as of a PR answer as that is, DMG understands that without the players, it's not going to exist. But DMG also understands that this is a turbulent time, I would say. Hyena's in the chat. Just agree with me, please. But I really wish I had talked to them about this before this.
Look, I understand, but it was a tough question because I don't want you to speak for the organization. I was just interested because I try to get the organization standpoint. To change the subject, I have one last question, and not in relation to that, but I just have a quick question here that is sort of going to be a little bit of a hard hitter because I know I want to hear your opinion on the continuation set because because I know that is a touchy subject in the fighting game community. So I want to hear just your opinion.
Okay. So
and then also, by the way, before you answer that, if you could by chance also tell me what you thought the other players thought at the event as well.
Okay. So as far as the continuation rule goes, if you think about it, it's somewhere in the middle between single elim and double elim. In Japan, you got single elimination, 2 rounds, you're out. In double elimination, you lose, you go to loser's bracket, and you have to, win your way all the way out if you lose once, But if you lose and you go to the loser's bracket, there's nothing weird is going on there. What the continuation rule, it seems to me, is designed to do is to say, let's say I beat Paradise at Guitar Hero. Let's say I send him to the loser's bracket. Because it's a tournament, I don't know how Guitar Hero works in a bracket, but let's say someone else beats me later on in the winner's bracket, and we're both trugging along in the loser's bracket, and we meet somewhere in the middle of the loser's bracket, and I already beat him. The continuation rule, it's trying to say, hey, wait a minute. Let's say Paradise beats Juice in a first of 5, whatever that would be for Guitar Hero, Right. Let's say he wins. Didn't Juice beat him? Then how can we eliminate Juice based on the fact that Juice eliminated, sent him to loser's bracket earlier? I don't think it's a logical standpoint. What it comes down to is what the continuation rule is trying to do is say, let's try to prevent the bracket magic that might happen in case they actually meet in loser's bracket. Okay? That seems to me what it's trying to do. And coming from a fighting game where, you don't have a lot of chances to begin with, a win is a win regardless of where you are in the bracket, in my opinion. Okay? So if you beat someone and then you go to loser's bracket and you have to fight them again, then the question you want to ask yourself is, how did you allow yourself to lose to this guy?
I guess the question then becomes, is a more dominant win a bigger win than a win that's by the skin of your teeth? Should a 3-0 count for more than a 3-2 win? Because that's basically what the whole thing boils down to, right?
Right, and I am going to say, no, it doesn't matter. Because once you win, that's one win, and you move on to the next one. I mean, what we're talking about is a conceptual difference. Adam is going to say, if I beat you 3-0 and then lose 3-2 to you in losers, I won 5-2. And so it's putting value on the personal matchup, me versus you. Whereas a regular single elim or double elim bracket is putting value on your placement in the bracket, on your luck, and on your ability to be a consistent player overall. You see what I'm saying? Like the continuation rule says, because player A and player B already met, that meeting has value which we're going to track. And if they meet again, then that value will matter. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a conceptual thing because the continuation rule says, if I'm godlike at StarCraft and I kicked your ass at StarCraft, you should not be able to kick my ass on an equal level and eliminate me from the tournament. You have to kick my ass on a higher level. You have to come back from that. Whereas in a fighting game, as soon as you get to the win, round over, next game, you could win and we're even. You see what I'm saying? Or should I say, I'll be in the loser's bracket and you'll eliminate me.
Most of the time, said that. That's actually a really cool way to have said that. You have to kick my ass at a greater level to come back from that. I actually like the way you put that.
Yeah, and I think.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was
going to say that I think you. Sorry, I was going to just hop in and reiterate that. I think this is John Nelson's point. I just want to get this out there. I think it's John Nelson's point at MLG when you look at the data over a bigger data set. That at the end of the day, when there is a difference in skill level, this continuation rule doesn't have much effect. But when the skill level is really close, it does exactly what Juicebox said, is value a particular matchup to give a better determination of who is the better player overall. And again, I know that it's not popular in some arenas, but at the end of the day, I mean, this is what people are upset about. They're not fucking doing too bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
And let me tell you what the players thought of the continuation rule. I'll tell you what they thought. They were like, okay, what's the continuation rule work like? Okay, cool, I'll remember that. And they sat down and they played their game, and they didn't care. And except for, except for CD Junior and Rio, I didn't see it having too big of effect on the tournaments themselves. It happened in the grand finals, I believe, of King of Fighters as well. It happened in the grand finals of 2 of the 3 games.
And to be fair, it made it a lot more interesting because Rio definitely almost came back and won the whole damn
Rio
thing.
almost came back and got it. So what I would say is, whether we agree with the rule or not, it's a small price to pay for a much bigger pot and alternate exposure. It's a bargain I'm willing to make, okay? I don't have to agree with the MLG tournament philosophy. I like the MLG tournaments, and one little rule is not going to stop me from going, nor is it going to stop me from showing my support. Not to mention, let's say I, gain some clout within MLG or something, I can make my case about a double elim bracket later, or about, fighting game tournaments not having continuation, other games maintaining continuation, etc. It's not going to be an issue that they've decided on 100%, and even if they have, it's not going to be, in my opinion, a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And
Wow, what a mature response.
Yeah, and I think people have this flawed sort of opinion that because MLG is doing it, it's going to take over the entire fighting game community, and it's all going to go down in flames, and we're all going to burn, and stuff like that.
Death and destruction and pestilence.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Took the words right out of my mouth, thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely doomsday scenario, so I don't necessarily agree with that. Whether I agree with the continuation set or not is irrelevant, so I agree completely. So, is it about time to move on to the, the interesting topic that we get to talk about later?
Oh, no, does that mean that we have loads and loads of... Okay, I'm not going to...
Really? Did you really? That was your segue, honestly. I'm in South Beach. I'm
like a compass near north. Let's talk. Let's go.
I'm telling you, this is mainstream penetrating itself into the fighting game community.
Oh, Jesus.
It really fucking is, isn't it? Holy shit. All right, so here's a funny story, right? So I get... Just this week, somebody said, hey, Jerry, what if poker companies were involved in gaming? And I listened to the business proposition. I was sort of walking through the value proposition about poker and its involvement in gaming. And I was like sort of hemming and hawing with the adult reality of betting and the things that go on. And, what makes the NFL sacred is that, players don't bet, coaches don't bet. If you're going to do anything like that, you have to have maturity to draw really strong lines between fan activity and player activity. And lo and behold, some fuckknuckle decides we're going to bring porn industry into this. Like, look, you know what? I really, really, really wanted to believe it was an April Fool's joke. I really did. Some part of me was like, please tell me this is an April Fool's joke. Here's the thing. Let me make a few things clear. I'm pretty sure most of our audience watches porn pretty consistently. I do. The demographics show that by the time you're 18, you've probably watched about 10,000 hours of porn, just as a fact. So we're all adults for the most part who listen to this show.
Hold on. Please tell me that's not a true statistic.
It really is.
Man, you guys are lacking.
In a matter of fact, there's a TED Talk looking at the fact that, honestly, for males, by the time they're 18, they've both played about 10,000 hours of video games and also watched about 10,000 hours of pornography, just as a sort of sample of when you look at lifestyle measurement. To be fair, take 10,000 hours, divide it by 24. In the course of 18 years, that's not exactly a complete unrealistic disaster, to be fair, considering that you probably spent, right, out of your 18 years, you probably spent about 7 of them sleeping. So don't be so shocked, right? 10,000 hours is not 7 years of sleeping, just to the record. But anyway, my point is, right, I have no moral obligation to a pornography sponsor. I have no, but I am quite well aware that there are a lot of different kinds of pornography in the world. There are those pornography that clearly exploit people who are in economic situations that are complicated, and there's other porn where I believe is professional. It's voluntary men and women who are engaging in pornography as a profession. That's a different experience to me. Either way, I'm not quite so sure that mom is going to be energized sending her 16-year-old kid to a porn-sponsored event. That's just me. Maybe dad will be. Maybe we all will be in a decade. But it seems to me like, I don't know. I'm just thinking, really the way I thought about it was like, you know what? Let's hope this is Capcom games, because I really don't want to see it anywhere else, because right now Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur have been elevated to a level of legitimacy that is really important. Let's not use the term fighting game community. Let's find a different term to talk about whatever specific games are going to quote-unquote be sponsored. But again, I don't have a moral objection. Like, you don't ever want to get into conversation to me about porn, because I have no wine or like light skin of this. But honestly, what fucking parent's going to be thrilled to see their kid who spends all this time in video games then go to a porn-sponsored event? You're just either out of your time or you're stupid. One of the two.
Here's the question, though, that I've kind of wondered today, and I've talked to a few different people about this, and I'm just kind of curious what your opinion is on it. How is the porn company to blame, or is the fighting game organizer to blame? Because in the end, I think we're all everyone's to a point where it's like, well, hell, we'll take money from anybody, and it's almost a desperation act. And plenty of organizations that are like this. So, what's any different from an event? They're just they'll take money from anybody. So is it necessarily, are we putting the blame on the wrong people here? I mean, is it necessarily their responsibility to sort of be the police system of the entire esports
on my thought, it's not the poker's ability to want to reach out to demographic. It's not the porn industry's fault. They are absolutely in a business. They're absolutely trying to grow revenue. You have to be an adult about it. It's not their fault. If you're a tournament organizer and you're gonna, look, I know that at professional sports games, about the closest you get to porn, if going to use this analogy, is cheerleaders. And that is an insult to cheerleaders, to be honest. That's an insult to cheerleaders. And I'm really stretching it to try to find something that might even be remotely exploiting sex at a professional game. So that's my thought, right? Then, right, we have this sort of like, hey, it's mobile porn, it's this. So I went on and I started, I looked at the site mobily and I started looking at the kinds of porn just to see what they had, right? And I started to realize.
Yeah, hold on.
No. I got fuck you. I look. Come on, I'm not afraid to talk about porn.
This is research, guys. This is scientific.
I'm the wrong motherfucker. I don't have no excuse. I watch porn. You don't have to like. That's
research and development.
Hold on, let me get more comfortable.
Yeah, that's my whole R&D. My R&D budget. That's what I spent on that.
Yeah,
but no.
I think
so I'm looking at the site, right?
Pants off here.
Yeah, relax, everybody. Relax.
Jerry, if your Browser subscription comes off on your taxes this year, I'm so reporting you.
I am so fucking. You know what? I'm in South Beach and I'm talking to you guys. This is disturbing. This bothers me. I've got a whole beach of it's a beautiful night about porn. Yeah, no lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is what I'm going to go do later is probably hang out with porn stars. But the point is that I want to make it really clear that, look, it's not a moral obligation or a moral objection, pardon me. It's not a moral objection to pornography. What it is it's just not where the industry or those who are interested in esports are concerned. Now, with that being said, I have no objection to video game tournaments being sponsored by porn stars, by porn organizations. Hell, you can fuck at the goddamn fucking event. Care. I do not care. But the minute you use the word esports, do not fuck up esports by thinking we need pornography. Do not fuck up esports by thinking we need pornography. Trying to grow a real, legitimate competition about people who have a highly, highly specialized skill who we want to watch perform against others with that high specialized skill, and we want to see rewarded for their talent. That's what we want. And if we need porn money to make that happen, then the fucking industry is dead. So I just want to make a clear line that I don't care how many fucking porn crossover video game events there are. That's fine. But if we're talking about esports, then it has no place in esports. Just like we don't need porn companies to fucking sponsor the NFL or baseball or the players or any of that. It's just not where we are as a society. That's my point.
And before I want to get Juicebox Abel's opinion on all this, but before we go into that, I do want to give some concrete details for people that don't know about all the details of this. Number one, people need to realize that this is not something that just sort of stayed on Twitter. This is something that has spread like wildfire. Wildfire. It was on VentureBeat at 12 a.m. last night. Like it went out. It's on Kotaku AU. It's on Kotaku.com. It's on some really mainstream sites, and it went out everywhere. That this is an esports thing. This isn't just this is a fighting game community thing and an esports thing. This isn't just a random game tournament. So anyway, what they were talking about is on a Twitter feed of Brazzers director of special events Rob Steele, fighting game fans are going bananas. And the reason that is because they announced that they're going to launch a dedicated fighting game community site later this month and hopes to sponsor players and fighting game events, and potentially fighting game events. So yeah, they haven't revealed any more concrete plans or anything like that. According to Tom Cannon over at Evo, he says there's no potential partnership with Evo going on in any way, shape, or form or anything like that. But that's what they're doing, is they're going to be launching a dedicated website, supposedly, particularly for the fighting game community, and will be sponsoring players. I think they're actually sponsoring L.I. Joe first, even, from my understanding. So
I read that as well.
That's sort of the details of this event, of exactly what's going on and what's happening. So Juicebox Abel, I want to hear your opinion, buddy. What do you think about all this? I know this is a fairly new and interesting topic.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so moving on. Here's the down low.
I see what you did there.
We have to ask ourselves how much involvement Brazzers really wants as a company, okay? Mark Mann has already tweeted that if Brazzers is like a corporate sponsor of an event, you will not see Mad Cats on that event. What the hell would we be doing if we lost Mad Cats? The fighting game community, the incorrect term that it is. You know what I'm saying? Fucking A. Like, I'm just a little mad just thinking about it. I don't want to lose Mad Cats. Mad Cats has been our friend, and we've been Mad Cats' friends. I mean, could you honestly have pitched an arcade stick any time before Street Fighter 4 came out? Honestly, you know. But moving on, like, Brazzers is not going to sponsor any events. If they run their own events, you will not see any sponsors within a 20-mile radius. And it's at their own risk. And, you know, that target market is sort of right, 20-something males. You know, but, you know, people have mentioned, you know, there are kids who come to these tournaments. There are people under 18 who, you know, can enter. There's no minimum age to enter. Ask Noah, the Prodigy. You know, maybe one day we'll put a little checkbox, I am 13 or older and I have parental consent or something, but we don't care yet. So we can't have Brazzers logos anywhere. We can't have Brazzers anywhere within these events, actually. Which makes me wonder, you know, how they're going to sponsor L.I. Joe specifically if he's not wearing a Brazzers shirt. You know, if commentators are not going to be able to say this is, you know, BRZ L.I. Joe. Well, what's the BRZ stand for? Can't tell you. Look it up. You know, and then Jimmy with his PC says, BRZ, what's that? Oh, my God, what's the man doing to the lady? You know? I just get choked up thinking about it.
I feel that way all the time. I'm like, really, what is he doing? What's wrong with him? I understand. So, it's understandable.
I mean, I'll be honest. If I were L.I. Joe, a sponsor's a sponsor. You know, I'll take that shit. I don't give a fuck. You know, pardon my French. You know, a sponsor's a sponsor. You know, you do what you can do. So I'm not going to blame L.I. Joe for the situation because he's going to take advantage of it exactly the way he should. as a single player. He should just ride this out and let the community decide about its obligations, business, morals, etc.
I think the most interesting thing is the fact that they say they're going to be launching a website. That to me is at least interesting. Like, what is going to be on this website? And his Team Liquid's going to bitch about the pay-per-view.
Here's the thing. Wait, hold on. That was a great comment, by the way, Kurt. I think that was a really funny comment. But here, just let me throw this out here, right? I thought, been here, done that, go fuck yourself. CGS, we're going to have the draft at the Playboy Mansion, la, 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 fucking failure. Fast forward, Virgin Gaming, we're going to launch a website. Here comes fucking Dickwad with this fucking $1 million. I'm putting $1 million in Virgin Gaming. We're going to fucking run competitive gaming. You're not going to do your site's a failure and you blew $1 million on something that's a failure. Bravo fucking O. The point is, at the end of the day, I don't care what they do. They can have a website. Let them start their own fucking porn-based league for all I give a shit. I'm just not buying it. Just wait until fucking little Susie fucking homemaker decides, you know what, I'm going to write my fucking congressman. What the fuck is this shit, right? Why the fuck are we degrading women? Why the fuck is sex being used to sell competitive gaming? It's fucking a landmine. Why the fuck do you have porn that clearly looks exploited from Eastern Europe? What the fuck are you doing? Right? This is filled. There's issues of women being trafficked around the world to be sex workers. And here's fucking this excuse for something legitimate. I'm sorry. If we're that desperate that we need fucking porn sponsors, game is over. Game is over until the porn industry needs to clean itself up. It would need to be a whole different kind of environment. I'm not seeing it. I think it's stupid. I'm sorry. I love pornography. I'm fine with people watching pornography. I don't have a moral objection. But as soon as you try to bring it out of what it is and make it some kind of legitimate sponsoring business, I don't know. It just seems it's got failure written all over it to me.
To be honest, I think this has come at the worst possible point as well. Hell, we just had the big Eris debacle where there was the sexism. Whoa, my God, fighting game community players degrading women, robble.
Dude, it's a natural thing. Don't you play fighting games? Fuck
Come on,
women.
yo, it's part of the culture. Jeez, you can't play fighting games without telling women that they need to go into pornography.
Don't get me started. Fuck Ultra David and that stupid fucking bullshit about, like, we're fucking culturally sexist. What the fuck year is this? And that's okay? You throw your fucking hands in the air and you're like, oh, it's no big deal. We're all fucking sexist. It's 2012, asshole. What the fuck? You're a fucking lawyer. Can't you lead a little bit? Can the people who run Evo, the people who run Shuriken lead a little bit? Can somebody fucking be a leader and be like, this behavior's not tolerated? Or do you all throw your hands in the air and pretend you're just serving the community, even if they want to fucking gas Jews? It's fucking bullshit, and it's just stupid. I mean that in a kind and loving way, of course.
Of course.
But of course. But no, I think I would have to agree with Juicebox, too. I think, honestly, the whole thing is probably just going to blow over. I don't think it's going to be anything. Yeah. So I do think that it is going to blow over. I don't think it's anything that's going to amount to really anything. I don't think. Adabisi brings up a great point, and we talked about this point. We didn't talk about this one, but they were talking about this point on an earlier show. I mean, the point is, we don't even know if Capcom will let them use a game that's even remotely sponsored by Brazzers. Probably not. But one thing to note, too, and I want to applaud the people that do this, by the way, really quickly. People like DMG, people like Mad Cats, people like Complexity, anybody at all, and BBB for that matter, I would almost for surely assume, have really came out and they're just like, look, this is fucking stupid. We're not going to sponsor an event, and we're not going to send our players to an event that have stuff like that there. Jason Lake said that on Twitter last night. DMG said that just in chat here. Mad Cats has said that. Really, really amazing stuff for people to just step up and be like, look, we're not going to fucking have it. Because in the end, this is you have to look at, kind of the ups and downs and, potentially sending your players to an event and not potentially not sending your players to an event is a pretty big deal. So I think it's really amazing to see people come out and just be like, no, we're not going to have it. So good stuff.
Wow. Quite the rousing discussion here.
You guys play King of Fighters? King of Fighters is a good game. I like it. It's $30.
Super Strip Fighter, anybody? Okay.
Did you say Super Fighter?
Super Strip Fighter, come on. It's going to be at the next Browsers event. I'm going to go pro.
That's just... You are going to go pro. Really. Somebody's got to fucking go pro. Wow, why is it that every time, right, it's like, oh my God. You know, this... Okay, so here's one other thing, right? Like, there's something called self-respect. It's when you really believe that what you're doing and what you're passionate about is something that people can really enjoy. So I do feel that way about esports. And if neo-Nazis, the porn industry, anything that is politically charged or there's a risk of exploiting a certain segment of the population, if we have to step that low to get money, it's just not worth it, right? It just doesn't seem to make sense to me to have to put up with this. You know, it's just silly. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think it's a novel idea in a casual market. I don't care, but just get rid of the word esports in relation to this. You know, because it's not esports.
Word.
Definitely not. No.
Well, with all of that being said. And I think we can actually segue out of this topic without any more puns because I think we've used up our entire fuel tank over here of puns for the entire month of April already.
We're out of
no. We definitely have to pull out of this conversation.
We're all out of juice, but we have juice. Never mind. No. Okay. Seriously though.
The joke is it's semen.
Wow. How did you do that?
I would have said you took the words right out of my mouth, but that is just horrible, isn't it? You can't win with that. You really can't.
Oh, this is fantastic. So why doesn't this happen more?
I am done for the night.
This is
more.
so bad. What's
I can't
my
go another
punishment?
This is too much. I can't handle it.
Moving on.
Yes.
Come on,
yeah.
Keep it together.
Do it for the games you love. I like Rock Band 3. I'm not going to hate on you, Guitar Hero boy.
It was, speaking of which, and this is a complete side, did anybody see the new Rock Band game that just got announced today, Rock Band Blitz? What?
Nope.
I heard the word Blitz, and I'm like, I don't know if I like it now.
It's a complete
I know, right? I thought of Germans
game.
marching again.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go with the Jews. They made a new game. It's almost like the old Amplitude with just the controller. It's all the different tracks, all the instruments, only on a pad. It's going to come out only on
Jason,
Xbox Live.
Before we forget, and I really hate to bring it back to this, but
okay.
I think we need to give a big shout out to VVV Syntherius because the only human being I know that actually should have his video games sponsored by porn is VVV Syntherius. So Syntherius, if you're listening, it's an inside joke. You should start playing fighting games. You really, really should. This will be your way to finally connect.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
you know what?
Sorry about that. I just wanted to get that out there.
We should really explain that for the listeners so they don't think we're just completely off base. One of our members in VVV Gaming, Syntherius, only has dial-up, and we had this conversation in Columbus where we said, you know what? That means you've never used streaming video. Oh my God, you could never watch pornography. And he has a really bad habit of sending out tweets on Twitter that are very rage-filled and hate-filled and raw. Oh my God. So Jerry came up with the idea of always messaging him anytime he says something rage-filled with just find porn, because that would be a way for him to let out his anger from his body. So,
yeah, I think it makes it worse because it's about some ex-girlfriend. Because when you're in high school, you have a girlfriend for 2 weeks, and then something goes wrong, and then you're all pissy, and it'll be like, breaking up with me is fine, but ignoring me is just cruel. It's like shit like that, and you're like, dude, you really just need to go find some porn or something. This will really help you with your sort of dramatic high school angst. So, big shout out to VV Syntherius. If there's a porn sponsored video game event, to you, my only word is finally. That's what I'm going to say. Finally.
You got this,
Exactly.
bro. First place. You're in it.
Exactly.
Get in.
All right, Jason, move it along. I'm sorry to bring it back there. Move it along.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Juicebox, let's bring this to esports, my man. You've seen esports full-fledged now. You've gotten to see the MLG scene. You being 9th place at an EVO before. You've gotten both sides of the fence. Do you have any sort of advice for MLG moving forward? Because, I mean, obviously you're going to be a part of this now. You've confirmed earlier in the show you're going to be doing some commentary for them.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for these guys moving forward?
Well, I'm in talks with Adam. He's obviously the SVP of operations. And
Clap for
what's
those
really important for MLG is that they allow some concessions to the fighting game community,
which is an incorrect term, and I'm going to keep saying it's an incorrect term, but I don't have another word for it. Just like esports is an incorrect term, whatever. Some small concessions need to be made, otherwise they're going to end up pissing everybody off. Okay? Just some tiny, tiny changes to the presentation, which are not, I don't think are going to be big changes to the planning or the scheduling or the event or anything. Some tiny changes to the presentation is going to go a long way towards getting people to show up as spectators to pay their $35. It's going to go a long way to getting, people to watch the stream. Okay? Now, it's not something that they have to do precisely. Lots of people watch the MLG event regardless. But we're teetering on an edge here where, there's a reason that we don't have Capcom games at MLG. I don't know what that reason is. Sundance knows the reason. According to his tweet, it has to do with two people that hold grudges. Okay? We don't want that to happen again. We don't want another grudge to happen that's gonna, sever this, this threadbare connection that we actually have right now. We can't afford that. Okay? Not if we want the players to grow, not if we want the MLG fighting game division to grow, etc., etc. Okay? We need to make sure that both opinions are heard, both opinions are fully considered, and, the right decisions are made here. Some concessions could be made on both ends, The MLG events are scheduled how many months in advance based around the StarCraft season, right? Like, how much work would it take for, an event, a fighting game grassroots event to move a week forward? You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's at, say the Sheraton Philadelphia, like, for example, Winter Brawl. It's kind of a small hotel. I'm not really sure if anyone really needed it the week after that. But, like, the idea is if there's going to be a scheduling conflict, I would say that MLG is okay saying we're not going to move, considering how many months they scheduled that thing ahead of time. That's one small concession the fighting game community could make. And then, one thing MLG could do would be, move the stage a little closer to the audience. Perhaps don't have that gate there. Let the audience actually get kind of uncomfortably close to the players almost. Like give them like 5 feet or something, but don't push them that far back. I mean, there's more things that could happen, but do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do, yeah, well, for sure.
Yeah, and I think another big thing too is they need to, like you said, they do announce that stuff. They do have the locations months ahead of time. They really need to work on, and I don't know the logistics of it. I apologize once again for not knowing the logistics of it. But in the end, I'm just a consumer here, and as a consumer, I'm telling them that they need to figure out. They need to release dates, times, and what games way fucking earlier than they have now. I mean, a lot of people blame the King of the Fighter low registration on how.
But hold on. Wait. We're making an assumption, though, I think we have to be careful about. Why are we assuming that MLG is withholding dates from us?
Not assuming they're withholding the dates. I think it's their job to know the dates earlier. I'm not saying they're withholding.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. No,
provide me a decent amount of time.
But if all the contracts aren't signed, what if a partner changes something at the last minute and have to change the event? I think it would be more. What do you mean?
It's not my problem. As a consumer, I don't care.
Okay, so here I am. I do what Kurt says. Major League Gaming says, look, next year these are the dates. Then all of a sudden, 2 months out, they have to change a date because it doesn't fucking fit with their schedule. Because something happens at the location of the event. I think they can't. I think it would be irresponsible for them to release a date until all the fucking contracts are signed.
I have to agree with Jerry.
I'm just being honest.
Earlier.
What if you had all your players booked or something, Kurt? I mean, that would be a horrible...
Then get the contract signed earlier.
Dude, when you do a major event... Here's the thing. No. My company runs these chief learning officer fucking functions, and they are at fucking high-end exclusive resorts. Right now we're at Lowe's South Beach in Florida, right? This shit, we get people who are like, why do you plan this on the same fucking week that my daughter's on spring break? We told you in October when it... Look... We fucking wish we couldn't fucking conflict with fucking Little Princess's goddamn spring break. Come the fucking fall event, and I'm goddamn sorry, Chief Learning Officer for fucking Qualcomm. That's just the fucking way it goes. So if Qualcomm can fucking put up with it, I don't give a shit about CEO Bailey or fucking rape my ass fucking local fighting game event. Fuck you. The reality is, that's a big fucking ship, and it doesn't move very fast. And it's irresponsible to get some people to prematurely book things and then have to change it, plan their family's vacation, plan all this, and they get it fucked up. No. I want them to tell me the fucking date as soon as the final contract's signed. If they're withholding fucking date from us, fuck them, tell us sooner. But I would rather them wait than the date that they later have to change because a sponsor wasn't committed or the event wasn't fully committed. That's just my thought.
I'm not saying do something irresponsible. I'm saying get the contract signed earlier. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's not acceptable for them to announce a game a week or two before the fucking event. It's not. It's not. And they can't expect people to show up for that thing and then be like, well, what the fuck happened to registration? I thought this was a big game. When they announce it fucking 3 weeks ahead of time or 2 weeks ahead of time. Give it a little fucking more time. Now, understand, once again, there are complications, and I don't want them to do anything. I don't want them to do anything irresponsible. Like you said, wait for the contracts to be signed. But it's their job to at least work on getting that time out a lot fucking sooner than they have. That's all I'm saying, is they get that time out there a lot sooner. And as a consumer, strictly from a consumer standpoint, I don't have to care about what the fuck they're doing. I don't have to care. I don't give a fuck what they have to sign or anything like that. As a consumer, it's their job to make sure that they get their shit out on a time to where a person who isn't sponsored, a person who doesn't work for fucking Qualcomm, who isn't paid on a fucking corporate budget, that can actually go to one of these events.
All right,
in a timely fucking manner.
I saw Juicebox down here. He's moving his hands. I want to have his input on this. If you are a competitor, what is your thoughts?
I think that I need 40 days. I'm going to put a number on it. I need 40 days, okay? And the reason I need 40 days is because some people don't understand, the way sponsorship works. There's different games, so there's different levels of sponsorship, okay? And what it comes down to is some things cannot be done without the right amount of planning, all right? And I almost didn't go to MLG Winter Championships. I almost went to NCR, but I almost didn't go to either, okay? And what it comes down to is I understand both sides here. I really wish there could be some sort of meeting in the middle that just said, we will always have our events, in the books by X date before Y date. Because this stuff sucks. It really sucks. I'm sure both of you agree that it sucks. Kurt, does it suck?
It does suck.
Jared, does it suck? Jared.
Well, it's been known. It's been known to suck. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. It's how it stays. It's not quite like my flashlight, but...
And as a player, it really sucks. I mean, but I'm saying suck, and we're past that discussion. My point is, this is unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that the scheduling can't all be, where we want it to be. We're not at the point yet where we can schedule. I'm guessing 2.5 months out and have all the dates finalized. 3 months.
Once again, I understand. I understand their past event, too. It's a little bit more complicated because it was their first event running under this new season format. They didn't know what the fuck was going on with the arenas and stuff like that. I understand, but I'm just saying that is something that is constructive feedback that has to be fucking worked on. Because just from an organization standpoint, let's not consider the players that aren't sponsored that want to attend these events. But from an organization standpoint, at least the way my organization works, is if a player comes to me a week and a half or 2 weeks before an event and go, hey, this event was just announced, I really need to go to it, I am not paying the $300 fucking flight differential that it would have been if I would have bought the flight a month earlier. I'm not doing it. It's not my responsibility to do it. It's not what I'm going to do. And I know a lot of other organizations work like that as well. So, and then you don't even mention the players that are, work their ass off to try to get to an event. They save up their $400, and then MLG, only announces the event a week before the event, and it's like, oh well, shit, the ticket's actually $800. It's just ridiculous.
You're over-exaggerating a little there, buddy. Come on.
It's to the point. The ticket does double after a fucking after a certain point.
Sure.
It really gets ridiculous. So, once again, I understand MLG's predicament. I'm saying that this is a constructive feedback that has to be worked on. I think all players would agree, and I think the registration will dramatically increase if they just give players a little bit of time to actually build up to it.
International King of Fighters players need more than a month. Need more than a month.
Yeah.
Okay?
Amen.
We have fuck tons, like metric fuck tons of Mexican players that want to come to MLG events. Okay? I don't know if you're following Dark Geese on his Facebook, but he's organizing events in Mexico right now to decide who he would send to MLG Anaheim for KOF. Okay? Because there's like passport laws or whatever that MLG has to send stuff out with.
And they had no problems with Tekken, by the way. Tekken was announced way ahead of time, and they had a ton of people from Korea. They had Ni and Nin there. They had the guy that come from Japan. I forgot his fucking name. But anyway, they had no problem doing it with Tekken. So,
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, hopefully it gets better. I mean, we do have obviously the dates for the Spring Championship, for the Fall Championship. We just need to know the titles. Thankfully, we do know at least 2 titles for sure from the fighting game community will be there with Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur. Why else would they be doing a fighting game arena for it? And Clap said it, of course, on the show last week. He is still trying to work on King of Fighters. He has said, hey, you know what, don't book your flights yet, but we're probably going to have a smaller prize pool. And to be fair, the fighting game arena news is coming out next week. He said that in the chat while we were here on the show, which means we should, fingers crossed, have information on the games for Anaheim as well. And if that is the case, we have more than enough time because June is still quite a ways away, and we'll be able to see some extra turnout. So at the end of the day, for this upcoming event, they are working on it. And, hey, the first event, that's the time for bugs to get worked out. This is the first time they've done a quarterly event like this since they made the switch in the system. So perhaps this won't be a problem anymore, and this entire discussion was null and void. Let's hope.
Let's hope, yeah.
Yeah. So, Juice, I know we're going to have to be wrapping up soon because Jerry is in South Beach, so we have to be respectful of his time as well. But before we go, Jerry, would you like to take the final question, or would you like to hand it off to Kurt? Your choice.
I don't know if Kurt's ready to talk anymore. I mean, Kurt, would you have anything possible to talk about?
No, I'm good.
No, here's my final question. Here's my final question. Juicebox, I want to talk about the politics of prior to MLG event versus after MLG event. It looked like pretty overwhelming. The shouting game community was skeptical and negative about MLG. You were there.
Did you just call it the shouting game community?
No, fighting game. Probably lag from me being on a fighting game, but it
was lag.
Okay, that was
I
really
should call them the soon going to be the porn gaming community. But the point is that I want to sort of look at. Wow, I want to know seriously. Have you gotten any flack? Do you feel you've sold out at all, or have you gotten anybody who said anything like that, or you've like, oh, they fucking pet you on the head and they're gonna let you cast, and all of a sudden you're sucking their dick? Have you gotten that kind of feedback from anybody, or do you feel are you even worried about being viewed that way? What's your view on the politics of this?
I'm still waiting for those negative comments, Jareth, because they're coming. I haven't gotten a lot of them yet, but I'm not truly concerned with that, because what it comes down to for me is, ever since I was a kid, I want gaming to be something that I can contribute to, that I have a voice in, yada yada, etc. I got into, pro fighting games. Long story short, I have a fucking opportunity here. I have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I don't know about you, but nobody's knocking on your door saying, hey, you want to commentate a fighting game for us at our awesome event that we're streaming all over the internet, which, by the way, has, thousands of dollars, which the players of your favorite games might, be able to get their hands on. I consider myself to be in a good, privileged position that, I can use, to hopefully grow the fighting game community. And when I say the fighting game community, I mean the players. That's what I mean. Okay? And sell out? Fuck no. This is what I want. It's not about money. What it's about is fighting games for me are a hobby. They're a hobby because that's all they can be right now. But we're, God, I keep saying this. We're on the cusp. Like, we're about to break the glass ceiling, all right? StarCraft is already there. If you are good enough at StarCraft, you can just play StarCraft. If you are good enough at StarCraft, you can just talk about StarCraft and make enough money to make a living, okay? We're not there with Guitar Hero. We're not there with Street Fighter.
Never will be.
I think maybe we're there with Counter-Strike. I don't know. You'll have to educate me more about this later, Kurt. But the idea is my games, the fighting games, are there. And they're going to keep getting higher and higher and higher if we keep pushing that. I'm in a position to continue pushing that. And I'm in a fucking position to turn my hobby into something that could be something way, way better, more substantial. I'll admit, it's slightly selfish, okay? I have the opportunity to make a career out of fighting games.
Whoa. Calm down a minute. I'm really curious because I just want to be clear. I don't see how at all it's selfish. So help me understand why this is selfish, because that would confuse me. So help me understand either A, why you feel it's selfish, or B, why you think others would say it's selfish.
Well, I mean, what it comes down to is how many day nines are there? Okay?
Day 9.
If I'm going to be the day 9 of the fighting game community, it's because nobody else took that shot and because nobody else wanted it enough. But at the same time, I consider, the community to be my first, responsibility. I'm not, oh God, this is really fucking weird to say. You see, I want to be able to, make what I love a career. And
there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's actually really awesome. I was going to say your morals are in the right place. You have the right idea going forward, dude. You need to pursue this, and we're all here supporting.
Hold on, no. I want to watch Juicebox struggle through this, not because I'm cruel, because I do want to make a very important point afterward. So Juicebox, please continue. Help me understand why this is selfish, or you think people would say it's selfish.
Well, people would say it's selfish because they're not in a position to capitalize on it like I am. That's the short answer. Okay? MLG is a future-based organization. If they start making money, the people in MLG are going to start seeing that money. Okay? And as a commentator, I might be a part of that money. But the reason I want to be there for the fighting games community, to see it grow, to see the players get better, so that I can benefit from it. And hopefully everyone else too. Does that make sense?
I am not a belief that there... Okay, so philosophically, I don't believe there's any such thing as selfishness. If you like to fucking help an old woman cross the street, you do it for you. I don't believe in not being selfish. I think the idea of selfish is kind of stupid. That's me. More interested in is this. I am disappointed that I had to ask the question. I'm disappointed that you feel the way you do. What we should be saying is, Juicebox, congratulations. It is awesome. You should feel happy, and we shouldn't even have this conversation. Because with the supporters of Mortal Kombat, the supporters of Soul Calibur, I think they are supportive of all of this. What I think has happened is that Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur 5 have always been stuck kind of piggy-tailing behind Capcom games. They've just kind of been lumped into the fighting game community, never having a chance for their own identity. Now they have their own identity, but they still carry some of the baggage from being lumped in with the fighting game community. And I don't think you need them anymore. Look, Major League Gaming is going to open up doors that you can't even imagine, and fuck those motherfuckers. And you've got a skill, Juicebox, you've got something that makes it more entertaining for people like me, and hell, that was your first shot out of the gate. With a little bit of training and a little bit more, who knows how good it can get, and who knows how much you can help grow the fighting game audience, because you're going to become, just like you said, the Day 9 of fighting games. People come to StarCraft events because Day 9 is their best friend. Day 9 has taught them StarCraft, entertained them through StarCraft, is their guide to being a better StarCraft spectator. You have that opportunity. And any motherfucker who's got any shit to say about that, fuck them. And that person on Twitter who said Ultra David never said that shit, fuck you, he did it. It's in a fucking article. I quoted it, and I made fun of it. So you fucking do your research before you question me. Also, one other thing, too, about this whole fucking shit. You know what? I hope to God that a lot of you people that are out there who, as you start crossing over, right? Oh, by the way, the other thing the person said is that the Brazers was a joke that began on FGTV. Well, I don't care if it's a motherfucking joke or not. Porn doesn't belong in esports, just to make that clear. And if it was a joke, I appreciate it was funny. Ha ha, fucking ha ha. We all got a good laugh, but just in the future, esports doesn't need fucking porn, right? I may need porn, but esports doesn't fucking need porn, just to make that clear. All right? So I just want to get that out of there, and I really want to say, Juicebox, I agree. It is an opportunity. I hope you run with it. You have the passion for it. And you should never, ever, ever let anyone make you feel like you sold out. Because you're not. You're doing it for the right reasons. You've been doing this way before you had this fucking opportunity. Now that you have it, the only fucking people who are going to be pissed off are those entrenched tournament organizers who are pew-pewing MLG because they're worried about their own fucking events tournament. And what I say to MLG is the same advice. You guys have no choice. You've got to play fair. You've got to work with them. You're going to deal with them. Thank fucking God I'm not the CEO of MLG, because I don't have Sundance's skill. I can't go on Live on 3 and have some mea culpa of how I fucking made a mistake and, oh, I did this wrong and ooze all of that shit. I'd be like, fuck you and your fucking shitty little event. I'm going to fucking crush you and put you out of your business. And the shitty part about it is you're going to come to my fucking events and you're going to be fucking glad you get to watch the stupid game. Or you're going to leave the fucking esports scene, part the fighting game scene, proving what I knew all along, which is you don't give a shit about this anyway. So no matter what fucking moves you make, fucking suck, kill yourself, right? That would be my fucking approach, which is why, I'm not in Sundance's position, because, I'd piss off a lot of people. But I'd be like, fuck you, Jabali, fuck you, Ebo, fuck all you motherfuckers. Guess what? Put down the fucking money, show these players what you can do for them, or shut the fuck up, and if you can't make their lives better, can partner them with sponsors, then go fuck yourself. And if you love fighting game events, then you come to my fucking event. You can fucking enjoy what you love, that you claim you love. Fuck, start your own fucking community. Do like Lord Jareth does at VV Gaming. Sponsor fucking players. We'll help you get them partnered with NOS and everything. We did it for fucking Lord Jareth and VVV. We do it for you, right? Recruit the players, develop them, do whatever you need to do, right? So they either leave the fighting game community because their passion got killed, or more like their fucking pocketbook got killed, or two, they're happy for everybody because the fighting game community grows. A lot more people are watching the games, in this case, Mortal Kombat community and Soul Calibur 5 community, and you're set. People like Juicebox Abel, been a long-time member of the scene, they're able to go out and have their skills developed and grown and reach out to a broader audience and entertain fans. That's good for motherfucking everybody. And if your shitty fucking pathetic little event that you fucking think that you owe something, let me tell you something in the fighting game community. Business is about one fucking thing. What have you done for me lately? And right now, the fucking lately is Major League Gaming's big fucking fat checks, the amount of effort they're willing to put on the stream, and the fact that they will be agile on a dime to make sure that players have not, but they'll fly their motherfucking asses to New York and give them another fucking chance at $16,000. And I'll take care of people like Juicebox who show up at an event. Nobody at MLG knows who the fuck he is. He gets an opportunity because of his fucking connections in the community, and they say, come stream. He jumps in that stream. He's got one fucking shot. I don't even know if he was thinking it was a fucking shot, but he brought his natural passion energy to it. And if that fucking bothers you, honestly, go fuck yourself. Just get the fuck out of Dodge, run your shitty little fucking event with your shitty little fucking friends, and feel like a big fucking fish in a tiny little pond. Otherwise, get the fuck out of the way, because good things are happening. That's my point. And on that note, gentlemen, I really do have to really enjoy South Beach. I'm out of here. Shout-outs to Zodiac, who just got back from the military. I see you in the stream. Congratulations on graduating boot camp. Your mom is a phenomenal human being who loves you very much. Your girlfriend was fantastic. I don't think she stopped talking about you on Facebook, Zodiac. So really, congratulations. And good luck to Cheese and Arsenic and Foxy Moxie and everybody else who's listening. Jason, thank you for hosting. Juicebox Table, good luck. I look forward to seeing you on stream. And Kurt, thank you as always. I'm sure we'll talk. And good luck with your proposal. It looks fantastic. Get it out there. Shop it. Corporations have money. Don't be afraid. On that note, everybody, I am out of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everyone.
See you later.
Bye-bye, Jerry.
How do we even... What just happened? Juice, you look like you are...
Juice looks like he's been beat.
Yeah, basically. You kind of look like a dog that's been kicked and put in the corner. What is going through your mind right now, my man?
What's going through my mind is that he's completely right, and I just wish I had the balls to say it that way.
You know,
I think a lot of us wish we had the balls to say it that way, Juicebox. We have a lot of us, including myself. So
there you go. You got people calling you a sellout in the chat now, Juice. You knew it was coming.
Congratulations.
Fuck them, all right?
There you go.
Oh, my God. What did you say? Say it again.
Fuck them.
Boom!
Right.
That's what we want. There we go.
I love fighting games. I'm going to do what I have to do to promote fighting games. Whether it's Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat, maybe it's Street Fighter, who knows? But I want to promote the players of the fighting game community. I feel as though MLG is putting me in a position where I could go above the level of player, and I could start, reaching a much bigger audience than the players normally do. And hey, Elvado just said in the chat, I just took a heel turn. If I got to be a fucking heel to do it, then I'll do it. All right? If I got to play politics, I'll do it.
Do it.
Because this is what I fucking love to do.
All right? I love fighting games, and I'm going to promote them, and I'm going to, I'm going to do it.
Hey,
buddy.
man.
Don't even. You just stop trying to defend yourself. There's nothing to defend for, buddy. But yeah, I mean, and just to quickly follow up on what he said, I want you to note too that, and we keep mentioning Day 9, and I guess that's because Day 9 is really, to me at least, he's one of the the perfect embodiment of what esports, and I guess you could call the fighting game community now is. One thing about Day 9 is people. I mean, there are people that call him a sellout. And there always have been, there probably always will be, because he's doing so well and he's so successful. But he's still considered who he is. He's still considered Day 9 because of how he is at events. Like, this guy is ridiculous at events. Like, what he does is just insane. I mean, I saw some pictures from MLG Columbus where the line just goes around the corner for people that just want a second to talk to him, or just to sign something. And he made sure he hit every single fucking person. Stuff like that's really, really amazing, and it goes a long way. I mean, you can be quote unquote a sellout and still not be a sellout. You understand what I mean by that? It's all about the community, but also trying to better yourself as well. So, so good job, buddy. But yeah. On that note, Jason, I think we're ready to wrap, right?
Yeah, we're just about to wrap it up. Before we do, Juice, I actually have a little bit of a proposition I'd like to throw out your way, just to see what you would say to this. I think, and Jerry, hey, he's not here, so I'm making the executive call right now. And Kurt, I think you'll agree with this once I say it. Juice, I'd actually like to have you on the show a little bit more often. Maybe we could get you on as more of like a fighting game analyst, talk a little bit about the scene, talk about MLG, what's going on in the world. Would you possibly be up for doing something like that in the future, maybe coming on every so often, telling us what's going on in the world of fighting games?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Honestly, I should probably keep my thumb on the news of the fighting game community a little bit more. I mean, I follow pretty much everyone on Twitter. I would love to do that, actually. Yeah. Sign me up.
Cool. That's what I love to hear. I think that's a good idea, Kurt?
Definitely. And as a last note, Juice, too, you're going to MLG, hopefully at least with the next arena, and you're going to be commentating the next stream. Really, congratulations to that. Be sure to. I know you're really close with DMG as well. Talk with MLG and see what you can do to make sure to work DMG some press in there too. And really support yourself and support your team. I think a lot of people end up sort of leaving some of their teams in the dirt once they get to a certain point. I don't think you're a guy to do that. So, we support them, and good luck with everything, buddy.
Yeah, if it wasn't for DMG, I wouldn't have this opportunity as it is. So, I'll be sure to, help them out as much as I can, as much as I help myself. So, that's the plan. Look into the future. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I'd love to see more content from you in the future, my man. You have a bright future ahead of you. You are talented. Continue to follow that passion. I see Jabali in the chat just put, hey, Juice, we'd always wanted to do a show. Let's do it. So there you go. There's an opportunity right there, my man. But we need to see your face more. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do at the Fighting Game Arena, what you do at Anaheim. I'll be there supporting you, my man, really. Before you go, before we sign off, actually, let's keep you on for the rest of the show. We're about to do our sign-offs anyway, so you first, my man. We normally end the show with shout-outs. Any shout-outs you'd like to give before we end the podcast?
Well, let me just pimp my shit here. So as you can see, at Juicebox Abel, you can follow me on Twitter. I tweet dumb shit. For example, hashtag bring back Toonami. I've just been tweeting Outlaw Star shit the past 72 hours. I do have a stream. Right now I stream some classic games because my capture card is gone. But it's just twitch.tv/JuiceboxAbel. And once I get my capture unit fixed and everything like that, I should be able to be streaming, the more modern games, things that run on 360s and such. And I do have a Juicebox Abel Facebook fan page, just a couple different spots that you can follow what's going on with me. Let me just pimp King of Fighters real fast. Go buy it on Amazon. I believe it's free shipping, and I think it's like $25 or $30. Go get it. Dreamcancel.com or Ochanagi.com, and that's how you learn the game. Good to go.
Beautiful. With that being said, Kurt, shout-outs from you, sir.
I got a few shout-outs this week. Big shout-outs to IPL. Please check out IPL this week. Guys, I don't think you realize that, and I mentioned it before, everyone in esports, quote-unquote esports, that is doing, you think you're doing so well right now, whether it be IPL, whether it be MLG, whether it be EVO, whether it be anything, that can change at any moment. So please continue to support the events that you want to see stick around. I think we all want to see some competition in MLG stick around, no matter what it is. So please support IPL. Go and buy their $5 HD pass. It's only $5 for the entire month, which will cover this entire event. Really, really good stuff. Should be interesting. They'll have the live view cams back. Check 6 will have we have Jimmy there. This is Jimmy there, Perfect there, Mystic there, and Sleep there. So we'll have 4 players there. And we'll also have a photographer there, so be sure to be on the lookout for him. We'll try to get as many pictures as we can for you guys. And you can follow the updates facebook.com/check6gaming. Also, please be sure to just check out all the coverage this weekend. It should be really good stuff. And that's it.
Sweet. With all of that being said, we've got the Fighting Game Arena announcement coming next week from MLG. So shout outs to them for putting this together.
That.
I know, right? It's like you're going to be there or something. You'd think that's why you're... Yeah. But shout
it's
outs
almost
to this guy.
like... Yeah.
Shout outs to this guy over here for coming on the show. Really do appreciate Juicebox taking some time out to join us. We look forward to seeing what's going on with you in the future. Shout out to everybody in the stream that is currently watching. Stayed around for the whole show. Even without Jerry here the whole show, we had some great stream numbers. Thank you so much, guys. We definitely want to keep the stream growing, so please tune in. We are on weekly Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. We normally go about 2 to 3 hours. And we'd love to keep this growing. We do this for you guys, so if there is something you'd like to see, we always accept every bit of feedback that you have. The entire show we've had our... Look at Juicebox with the swag. We always have our Twitter handles right here. Mad Cats. Shout outs to Mad Cats. They make a great MLG controller. Go pick one up.
Shout out, hold on, quick shout out. Shout out to Mark, man, the only guy I still know that likes Tekken. But, hold on, last question, because I asked this to everybody. Everybody, Juicebox, why does the community hate Tekken? Go.
Why do they hate Tekken? It's a slow game. Well,
Fuck
it's not
you,
slow when you're good.
It's
It's not slow when you're good. It's not slow when you're good, but when you're accustomed to 2D fighters, it's just different. And I'll tell you, people hate Tekken because it's fucking deep and it takes forever to be good at. You're not good at Tekken until you're good at Tekken. You know what I'm saying? So...
I see what you're saying. So you're saying all the other games are easy. Tekken's the hard game. I got you.
Tekken's the hard game. Yeah, Tekken's the hard game, and so people don't understand it. They're like, oh, they're just doing juggles all day. You know how hard it is to land a launcher on someone who's actually good? You know, do you know what Paul's 12-frame punish is? Blah, 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 blah. Like, Tekken is like metric fuck tons of book learning before you are even decent level. And it's really hard. Let's put it that way.
I appreciate you taking my joke question so serious, man, because I asked that to everybody, and everybody else is like, ha, 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 they hate it because it sucks. You know, so I appreciate you taking it so serious, man. Oh, because I love Tekken. But anyway, all right, Jason, go ahead and continue with the sign-out. Sorry.
It's all good. Shout outs to our stream followers the entire time. We got lots of fighting game players out there. Shout out to CD Jr. Big ups to you. I'm going to call you in a second, sir. I got your tweet. Shout outs to, I saw Medusa, I saw Buzz, I saw Esoteric out in the stream. Big props to everybody that was here for the entire show. Really do appreciate it. As I was trying to say before, give us your feedback. My email is public. I want to hear everything you have to say. Send me some feedback. Paradise@vvv-gaming.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter @VVVParadise. I'm always trying to improve the show for you, so I want to hear what you think.
Send me feedback. Juiceboxable@gmail. Hey,
send this guy feedback. He wants to know what you think of his commentary. He wants to get better too. This guy is selling
it's all on YouTube. The MLG playlists for the fighting games are all on YouTube. So I'm commentating the grand finals and losers finals of King of Fighters and a couple other matches. Check those out. And
shout outs to DMG sponsors, Mad Cats, Event Hubs, Gaming Generations, Focus Fire, and the Hadu. I love you guys. Sorry so much. Sorry.
Oh,
no, good job, good job, buddy. I was wondering when you were going to get those in. I'm proud of you.
He's getting good at this. Look at this.
He is, man. He's good. He's gonna be the next In Control. He's gonna be like holding up a Monster Energy drink can in no time.
So delicious.
Putting a Monster fridge behind him in the shot, like some people do.
Yeah.
But shout outs to our sponsors from the show. We got Control Freak, SteelSeries, Gamer Grub, and the band Power Glove. Hey, that actually rhymed. They support us with all their music for the show. You hear it every single week. Their X-Men theme being our theme song. Check them out. They are flippin' awesome. One more time, my email address, paradise@vvv-gaming.com. Hit me up. I want to hear your thoughts. We're going to be getting some more awesome guests in the coming weeks. I know that we've got Tim Static lined up. We talked to him at MLG. We're going to see if we can get him on, talk some MK. That's going to be fun. Really enjoying the fighting game scene right now. I can't wait to see this grow more and more with MLG. With all that being said, we have just about reached our limit for this week. Round 108 is coming to an end. Jerry will be back for the entire show next week. And we'll be back with another full episode of content. Until then, take care, have fun, play some games this weekend, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday night. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye.
Play King of Fighters. It's a good game. It's a good game.
There you go.
It's a good game. It's a good game.